welcome back to another video. I hope you all are doing well. Today we're going to talk all about nature journaling. So I recently started a nature journal for the first time, and in my previous video I shared a little bit of the process of me actually making this journal because I did sort of bookbind it from scratch. And in this video I'm going to be talking all about how I am filling it out and kind of doing a little beginner's guide to starting a nature journal. This is my first time starting a nature journal as well, so I'm definitely not an expert, but hopefully I can offer you some ideas, inspiration, and just a starting point if you've ever been curious about starting a nature journal. So in this video, I'll show you what I am doing to fill out my nature journal. I'll show you the different supplies that I'm using and different mediums that I'm doing because I will be painting in this journal. Yesterday, I also took a trip to the botanical garden, which was so much fun. I had such a wonderful time there, and I did get some clips of that, so I'll show you that. And then of course, mainly in this video, we'll be painting and journaling, and as always, I'll walk you through the process of what I'm doing, and we can just chat about nature and journaling and painting and all those types of things. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope this gives you some encouragement or some ideas if you've ever been wanting to start a nature journal. I think it really is such a fun journal and hobby to pick up this springtime. But I think we'll go ahead and get into the video. I'll start by talking about the different supplies and mediums that I'm using in this journal, and then I'll show you the clips from my trip to the botanical garden yesterday. Okay, as I'm doing a little bit of formatting for all of my titles and pictures, let's talk a little bit about the different supplies that I used for this journal. So as for the actual journal itself, I will link down below some tutorials that were very helpful for me when I was kind of getting first into bookbinding. I think that bookbinding is a lot easier than people think, and definitely not a requirement for starting a nature journal. You could also just use any journal that you have lying around. And then in terms of actually filling the journal, I mainly used gouache and watercolor paints as well as some colored pencils and just some of my typical journaling supplies. I will definitely make sure to list down below all the exact supplies that I used for this project. I definitely went with a more artistic approach in general for my nature journal, which is definitely not a requirement. Mainly I did that because this is also going to be my final project for my art class this semester, but I do of course also love to paint. One thing that I did find really helpful and that I used a lot were these little field guides. I got the first two from just the grocery store for a couple dollars, and then the wildflower one I found at a campsite that I went to a couple weeks ago, and that's what I used for identifying the different species and also just kind of figuring out the local flora and fauna in my area. As I finished gathering all my supplies, I did also just want to quickly mention, I think it's important to note that with nature journaling and just journaling in general, you definitely don't need to have a big stationery collection or have any expensive art supplies to start a nature journal. As I said, I'm going with a more artsy kind of maximalist approach to my journal, but I did also draw in this journal besides painting, and I added pictures and I kind of scrapbooked a little bit. I added some writing. I kind of did a little bit of everything, and I'm hoping that through that it can still offer some inspiration and you can kind of pick and choose what might work best for you. Journaling is definitely a hobby that's for everybody, and with a nature journal specifically, I don't think that it has to be intimidating. I think that there are so many different ways that you could do it. No way is necessarily right or wrong. Right now, I'm just cutting out a bunch of the letters that I printed out for my titles. I use this website called ransomizer.com to get all these letters. I use them so often in my journal because they're just very easy, and I do really like the kind of vintagey look for my nature journal. I kind of feel like the best part of keeping a nature journal is not necessarily the filling it out or the making of it, but really just the opportunity that it gives you to slow down and observe the natural world. I decided to check out some local hiking spots and nature preserves, and of course the local botanical garden to get a lot of inspiration and to find different species that I wanted to catalog in my journal. I really did just end up having such a lovely time at the botanical garden. I left feeling so inspired. We mainly were kind of looking at different wildflowers, but we also spent quite a lot of time in the Japanese garden, which felt straight out of a Monet painting. I definitely got so many ideas and so many pictures for my nature journal, but also just a lot of inspiration in general for my paintings and my art business. So if step one of starting a nature journal is to go out and observe and find the different species that you want to catalog, now we're on to step two, which is actually filling out the nature journal. As I said, there are absolutely so many different ways that you can go about filling out your nature journal. You can include pictures and write about it, or you can do some little drawings and little sketches. It's totally up to you. So right now I'm just starting by doing a little bit of sketching. For my nature journal, I didn't really want to limit it to a specific kind of species. Like I didn't necessarily just want to do plants or just animals. I kind of just wanted to combine and include everything that I was seeing a lot this spring. So for this first little sketch, I'm doing the really pretty butterfly that I saw at the botanical garden. I used my little field guide to identify which butterfly it was, and I'm pretty sure that it is the fritillary gulf butterfly. So I'm just sketching it out on top of one of these really pretty cone flowers. This is not the one that I ended up really painting today, but I just wanted to get a little bit of a head start on it. So the main species that I'm working on in my journal today is the poppy mallow wildflower. This flower does go by a couple different names. It's also called wine cup, and I just thought it was so beautiful. I saw it a few times at the botanical garden and I was struck by how bright it was. I love this magenta color. I love the cup shape of the flowers. So I'm just sketching it out right now, and then I'll go back and start painting it with the gouache and the watercolor. Okay, in full honesty, I actually did not end up really loving how this painting turned out. I think it definitely works, and I definitely don't hate it. I did kind of want this journal to feel imperfect because I wanted it to feel very personal and something that really is just a reflection of my experience getting outside this spring. But this painting specifically, I just wasn't the biggest fan of. I think it is just kind of part of my greater insecurity when it comes to painting with watercolor and gouache. It is just not my most comfortable medium, I would say. I feel like over the years I've become pretty comfortable with colored pencil and with acrylic paint, but watercolor and gouache has just always kind of stressed me out a little bit. I think part of what it is that with acrylic paint you can kind of always cover your mistakes. If you're not liking how something's looking, you can just paint over it, and with gouache and watercolor that's not really an option, and I think that just scares me a little bit. It's totally a mental block, me just kind of telling myself that I can't do it. But I just wanted to mention that because I do feel like starting any new hobby can be kind of intimidating, but the truth is that it really does not have to be perfect. I think that being an artist has forced me to confront my perfectionism. At the end of the day, most of the time, our journals are just for us, and the value of a hobby, specifically any artistic or creative hobby, is not for it to be perfect, not even for it to be beautiful. It's really just for the process. And I think that's something that nature journaling has really taught me as well. Kind of the fun part is getting outside and connecting with nature, being more observant, slowing down. And so actually what goes into the journal I feel like is kind of less important than that. That being said, it was still very fun to paint this, and I've been having a wonderful time filling in my nature journal. It does, at the end of the day, combine my two favorite hobbies, which is journaling and painting, and also getting outside. I love to do that as well. Also, I posted about this on Instagram, and if you want to keep up with more journal, art shop related things, I'll link my Instagram down below. But on one of my posts on there, somebody actually suggested a really cool idea, which is to make a nature journal for houseplants. And I think also in my last video, somebody suggested making a nature journal but for like fantasy creatures. So there really are so many different ways that you can do it, so many different things that you can customize and just kind of choose what works best for you, but I love how freeing a hobby like this is. So after I finished doing the general painting base layer, I do like to go in with my colored pencils. I think this is just something that I feel more comfortable with, and I like to kind of add little details and add the little finishing touches. I think colored pencils have been my best friend for a long time. Before I got back into acrylic painting last year, I was always using colored pencils. That was kind of my most confident medium, and I think it's a great way to kind of touch up these watercolor paintings. Now that the actual painting is done, it's time to add it to the journal and actually make the journal page. I started by just writing the little Latin name of the species on the bottom right corner, and later on I did also go back and add the date of when I created this piece on the top left corner as well. I'm adding a little bit of washi tape to the corners of this. I really wanted this journal to feel a little bit like a nature sciencey field guide. I feel like that's just so fun, and it makes me feel like I'm a character in the Emily Wilde series. And then what I'm doing now is I'm just cutting out all the little letters from my title and just sticking those on to the top of the right hand side, and that side is going to be where I add all of like the information for each plant. I used my field guide to write just a couple little facts about the plant, but honestly, I mainly just journaled a little bit about my experience and observations with the different plants and animals. For the rest of this video though, I'm just actually adding the title for the plant and also the little picture that I took, and I'm adding a little scrapbook paper background to kind of make it look like a Polaroid. I did go back after filming this and add all the little information, and I've now made a little bit more progress in my nature journal, and I'll definitely continue to update you about it in future videos and also on Instagram as well. Okay, I'm now ending off this little nature journaling art session by just kind of prepping the next few pages for painting, adding the little header and the pictures. But that does also bring us to the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed. This is actually one of my favorite videos that I've made in a while because I've just been having so much fun with my nature journal, and I hope that you also got some ideas if you've been curious about starting one or just a relaxing video to watch. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in next week's video very soon.